welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Tracy, and as you can see, darling, and once again I'm in my turban. Once I'm wearing my turban, you know what time it is. Your girl is about to throw all the way down, darling. And today, you know, it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope you're having a great holiday, and I'll be having a wonderful holiday with my family. And today I'll be cooking a variety of different dishes. Not very many, but you will see how I prepare them. So at this moment, I'd like to introduce you to how I'll be preparing my carrot juice. So before any further ado, please allow me to remind you what to do. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, please turn the notification buttons on. You'll hear it first. So, in my dish or in my pot, I have my carrots. Hopefully you can see this is my carrot. And you may be wondering what is on the carrot, right? The reason why it is in a pot also, I will be doing what you call, I'll be parboiling my carrots. Some of you may say, oh, why is she parboiling it? Because the nutrient or the value or the nutrient or the value of the nutrient will be will deteriorate. Absolutely not, because I will be using the very same water from the carrot to make the juice. And the reason why it has the brown color across it that is sprinkled that you see, this is actually cinnamon. So in my water, I'll be adding my carrot. You see my carrot is prepared, diced, because it will be blended. And I add the cinnamon for flavor. So it will be boiled or parboiled with cinnamon in the water. So that will add additional flavor, right? So let me just show you the items for my carrot juice today. I'm very excited. It's the holiday season. So let's get right into it. My very first ingredient that I will be using is the good old Guinness stout. The good old Guinness stout that I'll be using for my carrot juice. Now I'll be adding essence of vanilla, the spices. I'll be adding essence of almond. I'll be adding the good old condensed milk. And for extra flavor, this will be the good old vanilla sport shake. And when I'm ready, so like I have made mention that I'll be preparing a variety of dish today for Thanksgiving. So my very first protein dish will be fish, and I'll be showing you how I will be applying the seasoning to my fish and the seasons that I'll be using. So let me show you my fish. It is already washed clean, and this is actually 5 fishes, and they're actually lane snapper. And as you know, it's 3 in my family, darling, and I have 5 fishes in a bowl. Anyways, what I'll be doing with my fish today, I'll be escoviching my fish. And you know that I've always showed my finished product. So I'm basically going to show you my spices, what I'll be using for my fish today, and I'll be applying it as I go. It is very delicious, and that's one of our basically Jamaican staple. Escovich fish is basically a must-have on any dinner table or any specific holidays. Fish is like a must-have. So today I will be doing fish as well as one of my protein dish. So for fish, you don't need too much spices. One is a very potent meat or fish. Fish is very potent, I should say. So, and garlic is very good for fish. It makes it very delicious. It's very tasty, and it helps to reduce the rawness. So today I will be using Goya adobe seasoning, all purpose, on my fish. Of course, we must use the good old salt, and I like to use iodinized salt for health reasons. The good old black pepper, of course, and I like to use a total seasoning for my fish, as you can see. So I will just be applying this to my fish, and then I'll put it down to marinate for approximately 30 minutes. So let me go ahead and apply my spices. So what I'll be doing, This is, I believe that cutting the side of the fish, I should say, helps to let the season go through the flesh of the fish. And you may wonder, why do I have the fin and the scale, the fin and the tail still hanging? Reason being, when my fish is fried and it's crispy, I like to have the tail and the fin on there because it's very crispy and all the spices lodge in the tail and lodge on the fin, so it tastes really delicious. You can scrape away, right? So some people prefer to have the fins removed and the tail removed. Unfortunately, I don't like it to be removed. So don't go, oh my God, what is she doing? Oh my God, oh my God. Oh, the tail is sitting on the fish, the fin is sitting on the fish. Well, this is my choice. Okay? So let me go ahead and put the slices in the side of the fish, and this is to ensure that the spices go through it. And my fishes are very small, guys. I got to the fish market very late yesterday, and unfortunately this was what was available, so I just take what they have. They're very fresh, the eyes are very bright, so and the meat of the fish is very firm, as you can see. So let me go ahead. Now I'll just apply the spice to just one of them to see how you can see how I do it. So I ensure that inside the fish has get the spice, in the head of the fish, the side of the fish, and now you don't want to put too much black pepper. One, because when you put the black pepper, you don't want it burns the fish before it cooks in the pot when you're frying. So you want to put limit your use of black pepper, but make it, or I should say moderate amount of black pepper on the fish, because it causes it to burn when you put too much black pepper. I don't know if some of you have experienced that, but that has been my experience through the years. So I try my best to be moderate with my black pepper. So now I'm gonna add on my fish my total seasoning. So just gonna let you see. So this is my very first fish. Oh, so this is totally seasoned. So I'll be back with my next protein dish coming up shortly. So on the menu today, protein number 2, because like I mentioned, I'll be preparing a variety of different dishes today for our Thanksgiving dinner. So protein number 2 is actually goat meat. So you can see my goat is very fresh. On top of that, it is cut curry style, small. People, please, when you're going to curry, especially meat, please ensure that it is cut properly. Curry must be cut small. You do not cook curry chicken, curry goat, any form of meat that you're gonna curry. Please make sure it is cut in the correct size. Okay? So first and foremost, what I'll be adding my spices, and I will be telling you what I'm doing while I am doing it. Okay? So as you know, I am a big fan of the Mojo seasoning, or the Mojo like I call it. So I'm gonna add some of this to my pan of goat. So my Mojo is in my pan. I'm gonna stir it to get it potent and get it going through my meat, because goat meat is also very potent, right? So now I'll be adding the good old oxtail spices. So let's go ahead and add this. And the last time, and something, every day you learn something new. I was sneezing my head off, and now I figured out what I need to do. Each time I had a powder seasoning, I just fold it in. So it doesn't sit on top of the meat that causes it to fume and then you start to sneeze. So I learn something every time I cook. And I may not do the very same thing every time I cook something. So if you'd like to learn or get some of the tips when I'm cooking, please pay attention to some of the stuff that I do. Because every time I cook, I may not use the very same technique. I may not use the very same spices. Okay? So now I'm adding chicken spice to my goat. And then you may be wondering why she adding chicken season. Like I had mentioned in the previous video that I did, where I tell you the flavor of the combination of the chicken spice when it meets the meat, it is very tantalizing. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my chicken spice to my goat meat. And I'm gonna fold this in to ensure that I don't start sneezing mine off. Alright. Now I'm gonna add the good old sazon seasoning. Sazon season. Do I have to tell you the origin of the spices again? I think if you really like my videos and you really find them interesting, you can go back and watch my previous videos, actually my cooking videos that is, and you will see the origin of my spices. I don't think I have to reiterate that. So for those who, if you're new to my channel and you like my lingua, you like how I throw down, you like how I cook, go back and watch my videos, because today I will not be saying the origin of the spice. So now I have the good old adobe. This, like I said, this is garlic infused. So for anybody, especially if you have high blood pressure, now I'm not a doctor, I'm just letting you know. So garlic is very good if you have high blood pressure, and it is infused with garlic and different flavors, and it's actually all-purpose adobe. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my goat. I'm gonna fold this in. Alright. Now I'm gonna add the good old total spice, good old total seasoning, and this is actually the brand is actually Iberia. Let me add some of it in here. And as you can see, I do not measure anything, but hopefully one day I can actually create a cookbook, and after when I'm gonna do my cookbook, basically that's when I will have measurements. As of now, I grew up with my grandmother, like I've always said, I measure nothing. And you know what? I have become a pro. And my amazing husband will tell you that his wife is an amazing cook. And that's why he married me. So now I'm going to add my total season. Remember, ladies, you have to learn how to cook. Remember, the way to a man's heart is through the stomach. A good meal will keep him coming right back. He will never leave. Okay? All right. So let's keep going. Now I'm gonna have the good old black pepper. This is a treasure in any pot. Oh, my black pepper is almost gone. You know, when somebody's a chef and she's always cooking, shows that she loves to cook. So this is a little bit of black pepper. Now I'm not gonna add all of it now. Okay. Now I'm adding this. And I will not add any salt, guys. Reason being, the spices has a lot of salt. So you got to be careful when you're seasoning your meat, the amount of spice you're going to use. Remember, most of this seasoning has a lot of salt. So I will not be adding any salt. So now, time for my curry. And like I said, I think I've explained this in my prior video. My curry is actually infused with Indian curry and the good old better pat curry. This is a product of Jamaica. It's very delicious, and the color is amazing. And I like the color. It's very yellow. I love, 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 love it when it's beautifully, when it looks pretty in the pot, and it's when it's yellow. Most people talk about the flavor, only I talk about the flavor and the look. So this is my butter pot curry with Indian curry. It's infused. Okay? And I think in my previous video I've also explained how delicious this is and how meticulously made the Indian curry is. So again, some of you may say, why is she not burning the curry? I don't have to burn the curry. Why? Because curry takes a long time to cook, and goat meat, anybody who knows how to cook goat meat knows that it takes a long time. So I don't need to burn the curry at all. That's the reason. And remember, you cannot put curry in the pot twice. I have to reiterate myself. When you're currying anything, you have to make sure you have the curry to the pot once. If you open your pot and you see that the color is not what you want, you cannot add curry again. That will make you become very ill, because you must curry, and you must have the curry to the meat once, not twice, people. Alright, so now I'm going to add the curry. And you cannot put too much curry because it will make your meat bitter. That's a major tip. So now I'm going to put this in. Let's see. And as you can see, I don't have a whole pan of meat. This is actually 3 pounds of goat meat. And you cannot put too much curry. So I'm going to fold and see. If I need more, I will add. So let's see. Okay, this is perfect, guys. This is perfect. I don't need to add any more curry. Perfect. How beautiful this is? Perfect. And now, I have my herbs. In my pan, I have the good old thyme, I have the bell pepper, I have the onion, I have the good old Scotch bonnet pepper, and I have both green and red in here, and I have the good old ginger. Let's show you this is my ginger. It's a good old ginger. And some of you you can also use powdered ginger if you're not into the ginger coming from the earth. You can certainly use powdered ginger if you choose to do so. And I also have green onion in here, and as you know, I love garlic, so I have like 6 or 7 cloves of garlic in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to my pan. So I'm gonna stir. I know some of you might be wondering, why does she have the good old J. Ray and his nephew sitting among her spices? I'm going to tell you something. This is me combining here. So, the good old J. Ray and his nephew. And this is actually something that I learned from my grandmother. My grandmother was an amazing cook. And you realize I've made mention to her. I've made mention of my grandmother in so many different instances in my video. One, everything that I learned about cooking, I learned from her. She was an amazing woman. And when I cook, I like to pay homage to her. But I'm not paying homage to the dead now. Not to the spirits. So one of the things that a lot of people may not know, to infuse your seasoning in your goat and then to let your flavors pop, you will add a touch of Ray J and nephew, or you can add any alcohol of your choice, but preferably it has to be a rum. Okay, not a wine, a rum. So I'm going to go ahead. Like I said, I don't measure. I'm going to tip a little bit of rum over here. Not too much. And I'm going to stir. So now it gets all my flavors popping in my curry goat. And as you know, I always show you the finished product. So let me stir. And for this, I will marinate for like 45 minutes. So I'll stir. So voila! This is my seasoned curry goat. I'll be marinating it for 45 minutes. So I'll be back with protein number 3. So welcome back. So I am on protein number 3 on the menu today for our Thanksgiving dinner, darling. So as you can see in my pan ahead of time, because of time, I have in my pan here chicken drumsticks, and I'm actually baking this. You may wonder why it has the seasoning looking as if it's in a liquid form. There's a reason, or there's a method to my madness. The reason why I went ahead and I had all my spices, all my herbs to my bullet and blend everything. So let me just go ahead and give you a rundown what is in the spice. In my spice I have thyme, I have escallion, I have green onions, which is escallion, I have onion, I have the good old ginger, of course, I have pimento. In the mixture I went ahead and I had some cinnamon. I did have the good old total seasoning. I had the oxtail spice. I had the Sazan seasoning. I had my chicken seasoning. And for flavor, since today I'm doing barbecue chicken, personally I like to have the flavors start cooking through the meat, all the way through the meat from start to finish. Reason being, because I'm baking the chicken. One, I do not have the luxury of adding the spice again when it's actually simmering. Because when you're baking, you know when you're baking your meat, whatever it is, it cooks all the way through. So therefore, I don't have the luxury of adding seasoning when it's simmering. So that's the reason why I went ahead and blend everything so the spice can marinate through the meat immediately. And I do not have to add any spice when it's simmering in the oven, because I'm not cooking on top of the stove. When you're cooking on top of the stove, you have the luxury of adding your seasoning when it's simmering, and as opposed to baking, you do not have that luxury. So for color and on top of that for flavor, I went ahead and I had my original barbecue sauce and the Hickory barbecue sauce. What I like to do, I like to mix 2 different flavors of barbecue sauce whenever I am doing my barbecue chicken. This is already a mixture of barbecue sauce. I prefer Kraft. You know, this is a Kraft bottle, and in here I have the original barbecue sauce plus a Hickory barbecue sauce, because I'm always cooking and I'm always chefing, I'm always in the kitchen. This is already mixed. Okay, so in here, this is both of the different mixture. So I'm gonna go ahead and just this is that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this onto my chicken for flavor. I may need a little bit more. Let's pour this in here. Pour this all the way out, since this is already mixed. And to bring this together, let me add a little bit more cinnamon. To this This is how you get your flavors popping. This is combined. So now I'm going to just pour it all the way over my chicken. I'm just going to mix this. This is actually how I season my chicken, my barbecue chicken, for baking. And as I explained before, I am not able to put my hand in the spice due to the tingling feeling that it sends through my hand, and it will go on for days and it's very uncomfortable. So that's the reason I don't put my hand in here. So I'm just basically turning this around in the seasoning so it can marinate properly. Normally I will marinate my chicken for baking for a whole hour, and that will ensure the spice and everything to go through the chicken, and it will be very tasty and delicious. So there you have it. This is my seasoned chicken that is ready to go in the oven after marinating for an hour, and you know I'll be back with my finished project. So like I said, you would have seen, or you will see, my finished product, and this is my Thanksgiving dinner for my family. Here we have our curry goat plated with our baked chicken with a bed of vegetables. Along with that is my fish to the left. Very, very tasty and delicious. That's Escovich fish. And to finish it off, we have the good old carrot juice. Bon appetit! I will just taste for you guys. Happy holidays! Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget, please turn on notification buttons on. You hear it first.